Grief is universal, and it's something that we have all felt. Yet at the same time, it's one of the hardest things for us to talk about. And it's also one of the hardest things for us to know what to say to someone who's currently going through grief, even though we felt it, even though we might have lost a loved one before, or if we lost a job, a career opportunity, or our business went down after so much work. Sometimes that even feels like a loss of identity if we're too attached to what I do is who I am. We've also all gone through the experience of losing some childhood illusions that we've had. You know, when we found out that our parents weren't perfect, that leaves us into grief. When we found out that the world isn't what we thought it was when we were children, when we were teenagers, maybe we graduated college thinking everything was going to work out perfectly, and then kind of like a reality sits in. And then we have to grieve all that we once believed. So we've all dealt with this in many different ways. Maybe even realizing I'm not that special, you know? So what do you say to someone when they're going through grief, when they're going through a moment? Now, I'll leave you with this nugget of maybe gold that I've been using in the past. And it's the best thing that I know what to say, but maybe you can leave in the comments what you think would be a great thing to say to somebody who's going through grief. Mine is whatever you're feeling right now, or whatever you go through, even if you're not feeling anything at all, it's okay. Everybody grieves differently. It's a different experience for you. But be gentle with yourself through every part of the process. Whatever you're feeling is okay. In this video, we'll talk about the grieving process and how to go through it gracefully. So there is the reality that some people get stuck in grief. And grief is one of the lowest levels of our human emotional ladder, or our levels of consciousness. So we don't want to get stuck in grief. We can all go through it. We all have gone through it. But we want to make sure that we're not stuck in this low level. And of course, everybody knows there's that stages of grief. There's 5 stages, right? It's denial, it's the first one. Then comes anger, bargaining, depression or sadness, and then acceptance. And you can see in the human emotional ladder, acceptance is much higher than grief. So we want to move into this acceptance. But first, the reality is that sometimes we have to go through those other parts of the stages. And this isn't complete science, right? It's not that you go one stage, next stage, and then you're done. It's fluid. You can come back and forth and feel it in a different way. And that's why whatever you're feeling at the time is okay. Be gentle with yourself. But there are people that are stuck in denial, stuck in anger, or stuck in sadness, or just constantly bargaining, right? So we want to get past that, and we're going to do it in body, mind, and spirit. And that's what we're going to talk about here. How to move past, how to take the next step forward so that we cannot stay stuck in grief. In order to release grief from our body, we'll also use those different stages, specifically the ones of denial, which would normally cause us to have numbness in our body, difficulty feeling, difficulty grounding ourselves into reality. Then we'll also go into the anger itself. Many times people haven't been able to release the anger that they felt, and sometimes they hold on to it in their body for decades, in their body-mind connection. Maybe their grandma passed away when they were 10 and they're still feeling anger. But now they don't even realize why they're feeling anger. It just quickly, just in their nervous system, just jolts up and they feel anger. Same with with sadness. Same thing. Sometimes we don't even know why we're still so sad. But it is trapped in our body many times. And even if we're doing the thing that maybe feels natural to do, like crying, part of going through sadness is crying. It's very healing in itself. But what we do sometimes is we cry for, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Hold it together, get it together. And then we don't actually go through the process of releasing it by doing it for enough of a time with intention. Also, we use the body in a specific way to go into anger and sadness so that we can deep belly cry, so we can really feel the longing and we do it for a certain amount of time so that we can really truly release it, instead of it just coming in different weeks, different months, all of a sudden just flooding our system. So for going through grief, those are the ones that we want to work on: the numbness in our body, the anger in our body, and the sadness. And I will set up a coursework within, like a workshop within the bioenergetic starter hub as soon as I can. If there is demand, actually, go into the free starter hub and let me know if you want this, and then I'll set it up. Or if not, I have the bioenergetics mastery program that deals with all of this. We work on all the little lower levels of consciousness, the emotions that keep us low and stuck. We go through all of that so that we can rise up into higher levels. And we practice going into these levels and holding on to peace, to joy, to love, to acceptance, and to take courage. That's my best bet, but if there is demand, I'll set something up for people in the free bioenergetics starter hub. To heal from grief in our mind, I think there's just a few psychological frameworks that we can use. Number one is that it's okay. What you're feeling right now, or if you're not feeling anything right now, it's okay. You're going through a grieving process. The important thing is to actually go through the process. The only way really we can do grief wrong is if we, for the rest of our lives, stop it or suppress it. We just don't want to deal with it. That's the only way. And then also if we judge ourselves too harshly because we're dealing with grief. By judging ourselves too harshly, we end up going lower into the human emotional ladder. We go into guilt and we go into shame. And that's not why grief is here. Grief is here not as a permanent thing, but just for us to go through it so that we can go through those stages and enter into acceptance, to move up. Go through it. And even if you've been grieving for so long, that doesn't mean that it's a prison, that it's permanent, that you're stuck there. Today could be the day that you decide, you know what? No more judgment. No more judgment on my sadness, anger, or numbness. I'm going to go through this process and move past it. That is possible. Going through grief spiritually is all about trusting that we are in a spiritual journey, that we are in a process spiritually. And there are moments when we have what's called consolation and desolation. Consolation is when we feel very close to God, when God feels so intimate, so real, and we see God's face everywhere. And then there's also moments of desolation, where all that joy, all that excitement and wow is turned into a dry, deserted place where God feels absent, where our prayer feels like, what is this? Who's listening? We feel left alone, abandoned. And that is part of the spiritual journey. There are moments when we do feel abandoned. And what we can do is then us turn away. And that's what we have to be careful of. The trusting of the spiritual process is knowing that there's moments of desolation and consolation. And the important thing here is to not make big decisions in moments of consolation or desolation. When you're super hyped up and like, wow, you don't want to make big decisions. And also when you're in moments of desolation. And by going through this process, we begin learning acceptance. Sometimes we're in these moments and sometimes we're in these other moments. Like in the book of Ecclesiastes, where it says that there's a time for joy, partying, happy times, right? And there's also moments for sorrow and weeping. Ecclesiastes is an awesome book. You may want to check it out. But also in the scriptures, we see that God, the Lord, is close to the brokenhearted. And we can even remember the story of Jesus when he wept. He wept when he found out that Lazarus was dead. And he saw the sorrow of Martha and Mary, who were very close friends to him, right? He wept. He knows our pain. God knows our pain. And the beauty is that he raised Lazarus from the dead, right? So this is important too, because God can make beautiful, even unbeautiful things. They say he can create a straight line out of crooked lines. He can make the crooked straight. It's amazing, the power of God. But just because we're moving through a time period where he doesn't seem close, the purpose here is to enter into trust, to trust the spiritual journey, to keep going with your prayers. I know it's tough. But remember, God is God, and God is not what do you call it, like a vending machine where we just ask God for something and we're like, I will pray here and then you give me this, right? It's not a tit for tat. It's not that. God is not like that. You know, he's not a vendor where we pray and then it's just like, oh, now you give me, right? And then, or because that didn't happen, because it didn't happen the way I want it, now that means you're not real. No, that's not the case. God is God. Let God be God. And God is teaching us through grief, through the spiritual journey of all the emotions, so much more. And trust that he'll make crooked lines straight. Lastly, I just want to mention that when grief moves, when we allow grief to move within us, we can transition into higher levels of acceptance, of peace, and of love. This is amazing, and this is our journey. This is what we're going through. These lower levels of consciousness right now, we're talking about every single one of them because we want to move past this. The ultimate journey is to move up into higher levels of love, of peace, of joy. That's where we're going, but sometimes we have to move through these lower levels. So remember, grief is not the end. It is not the end. If you're in grief, in numbness, in anger, in sadness, then that's okay. Go through the process. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you know somebody who is possibly going through grief, send them this video. This might be the catalyst, the thing that makes them take the next step forward. I wish many blessings upon you. I hope the best for you. And I hope that you, everyone here, everyone who's watching, and including you, move into these higher levels because, oh man, the world needs it. The world needs every single one of us to go through this process, to purge ourselves from these lower levels of consciousness and move up. I hope you do. Peace.